Welcome to the GuthrieAmerica podcast. We sit down with amazing people who do life in our community and who are from here because we believe every story should be told. I'm your host, Heady Coleman, and yes, the unofficial co-host is in the room, my mom. There she is over there. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's saying, yay. Today I'm sitting down with Jennifer Husmann. Before we jump into this conversation with Jennifer, would you please go ahead and subscribe to the podcast and leave a review? It would mean the world to me. Jennifer, how you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful.
Thank you for being on.
I'm excited.
Yes. Now, you and I have never just like hung out or anything like that. Mm-mm. I've seen your work around town and see you on social media and all the things. I think the people that I've spoken to about you or just mentioned you speak highly of you. And so that is good. Now, before we go any further, you and I were kind of having a conversation off podcast, off recording. What would that be? Pre-podcast.
Pre-podcast, yes.
About Android and iPhone. You are an Android user.
Proud
Android user. Now, when did you make the switch? Or have you always kind of went back and forth?
I have always been an Android user, but I had for work, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, I had an iPhone, and I felt the Android was a little bit easier to use.
That's what
I like the interface of it. I feel like it's a little bit easier.
I think people who say that you probably have been around it more than people who, like, if I gave an Android to my mom. Mom, you once used the Android though, didn't you?
I don't know the difference.
Okay. But no, I never heard anybody say Android's easier than iPhone. You're the first I think I've heard say that.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Here's the thing. You used to work in technology too.
I did. And to date myself, I worked for T-Mobile hired me to roll out their Blackberries and Palm Pilots back in the late 90s and early 2000s. And so maybe to me, it kind of associates back towards those platforms that I was familiar with. Yeah. But yeah.
I love the BlackBerry.
Oh, give me a keyboard I can touch. My fat fingers, I can't. These smartphones now, I can't.
I love BlackBerry. Oh my goodness.
I do too.
I really miss BlackBerry actually. And every once in a while, I'll see an article or something as though it may come back. But we'll see.
We'll see.
My wife, I recently had gotten my wife this gadget that you can put your iPhone into, and it gave you physical keyboards.
Physical keyboard?
Yeah. It made it longer, so it was a little bit cumbersome for her, but I think people are wanting physical keyboards because they wouldn't have made that if that was not the case, I don't think, Oh, so
I'm all for it.
Yeah. Right. So if your friends and family are sitting in your seat right now, how would they describe you?
Probably, I think I put it the other day. I had a social media post, probably fun, fearless, and feral.
Okay.
Just a great combination of all of them.
Have you always been a fun person?
I would hope so.
Well, some people are just kind of people are just kind of serious,
Right.
But you have good energy about you.
There have been times in my life I've probably been more serious than I am now. But I would like to think so.
Gotcha. Tell us a little bit about your family.
I was born in Oklahoma, and in the late 80s, we moved up to Colorado. So I spent half my life growing up in Colorado. I was very fortunate to live in a mountain town called Evergreen, Colorado. I graduated high school there. My parents and my brother are still in Colorado. I think all of my remaining family, we came from a very small extended family, but they are no longer in Oklahoma. But Oklahoma was always home. This is where I wanted to be, and hopefully I can get everybody else to come back with me.
What part of Oklahoma?
I was born in Oklahoma City, but I grew up in Edmond.
Okay.
So not very far. Very far.
And did you say you graduated from Colorado? Or did you graduate?
I did. I graduated high school from Colorado.
Okay.
In Evergreen High School.
What year was it that you moved?
We moved in 87.
Oh, you said okay.
Mhm.
Was there like when you made that transition from Oklahoma to Colorado? What were some of the things that were some of the major differences between the two that you can remember?
What I loved Colorado, but the people are very, very different.
Okay.
And let's not even get into the weather.
Okay.
I am not a snow bunny. I do not like the cold. I want to be outside. I don't care if it's 110 degrees. That's my happy place. So I think that a lot of I
That's my co-host, everybody. My co-host is in the room. There we go. Go ahead.
I appreciate the distraction from the peanut gallery.
Oh, that is so
we
funny.
needed a good laugh.
Yeah,
we needed
that's good. That's so
funny. You know, there are a lot of beautiful things about Colorado, and I really enjoyed my time there. And I did meet some really great people, but I think in general, the people aren't as friendly. They aren't as warm. I personally, it was not a very, it wasn't a very spiritual place. I always kind of felt alone. I knew that I'd be back.
Yeah. Talking about spiritual place, this is not a Christian podcast per se, but I am a pastor. And so
sure, absolutely. Well, when it's a part of your life, you want to talk about it, right?
Right.
So,
but I was just thinking, I was talking to somebody, was that today? Maybe I'm just going to say this week, where we were talking about people who live in Colorado, and was talking about the percentage of people who were unchurched in Colorado. It was extremely high, which I was like, oh, wow. But I had heard that before around Colorado. So.
I think that parts of Colorado it's very concentrated.
Yeah.
The parts of Colorado that it's very concentrated where they are.
Yeah.
But overall, not as much.
Yeah.
It surprised me for such a big population.
Right. But people love Colorado.
I love Colorado, but I am I'm always going to be an Oklahoma girl.
Yeah.
Like through and through.
Yes, that's nice. I'm with that. I'm an Oklahoma boy.
Yes.
So yes, I'm all for that. Tell us about the work that you currently do.
Right now, I am a 5th year fresh cut flower farmer. So I grow flowers for wholesale for florists. I grow flowers for subscriptions. I have what's called community supported agriculture subscriptions, CSAs. I also am part of the Oklahoma State Agritourism department, and we offer U-Picks and events out on the farm for people to come cut their own flowers. We do a lot of educational programs. We'll have master gardeners, gardening clubs come out. We'll have 4-H kids, just really trying to bring back a lot of the knowledge in farming in a fun way with a fun product, because it's hard to be upset when you're around flowers. Oftentimes I'll call myself a joy dealer, because that's what I do. Who's not happy and who doesn't feel joy when they get a bunch of flowers?
Yeah, so. No, that's really cool. What does your day look like as a flower
farmer? Well, in the summer it's long. It's usually around 5 a.m. when we start out, and we'll get out and we'll just kind of go and do a field check. There are a lot of, in the country out here, there are a lot of pests and creatures and critters that can get into things. So we just kind of do an overall health check. We'll start our irrigation. Right now we are farming on a half an acre. And for this next year, we're going to grow another half acre. So we'll be on a full acre of field grown flowers. We have 2 hoop houses. One is getting filled up. The other is still under construction.
What kind of house?
Hoop houses.
What's a hoop house?
A hoop house? It is a large plastic tunnel that allows me to grow in the colder months
Okay.
in the ground.
Okay.
So a lot of times you'll see them with farmers growing, larger commercial farmers growing lettuce and some of the cool weather crops. And we'll start some of our cool weather flowers out there. And so irrigation, a lot of times working with the irrigation, especially during the heat of the summer, can take about 4 hours. There's a lot of weeding, a lot of... We are an organic farm and do a lot of sustainable practices on the farm. So a lot of times pest control. You've got to harvesting the flowers, making sure you get them at the correct time so they'll last the longest. Just those things there alone probably take about 10 hours a day.
Oh, wow. Wow, yeah. 10 hours a day. So do you have help? Is it you solo?
Right now, it is me solo. As we grow, we will probably be we'll probably have to take on more help. We have received we're starting to partner with a wholesaler to start providing more fresh cut flowers to florists. It seems like now that they, I don't think a lot of people realize that the United States is the number one consumer of flowers, fresh cut flowers in the world.
Wow.
And it's trillions of dollars of our, just trillions of dollars of sales in just flowers alone. So most of the 90% or more of the flowers that are consumed in the United States are flown in from South America and the Netherlands.
Get out of here. I did not know that.
Only 10% or less are grown in
Here.
America.
Flowers.
I
wouldn't even think about like flowers need, like we're going to fly flowers from overseas.
We do.
And these are the ones that the flowers are flown from over there to be distributed to like flower shops or? Okay.
Yep. Most of now there is a big movement in what's in the floriculture right now where a lot of people are looking to get more local flowers. And that's why we're seeing lots of flower farms start popping up. In fact, fun fact, within a 25-mile radius of us, there are 12 flower farms in Oklahoma. And not very many people realize that. So there are lots of opportunities to buy local flowers. They last longer. They don't have, a lot of the countries from around the world use very poisonous pesticides. Those are brought into the United States on these flowers. It's just, I can really geek out about it if you'd like. But I think that as we're growing this year, going back to the question of, do we have help? We're trying to grow to fill that gap so that there are more local flowers here in Oklahoma. And so we will be needing help, and we want to grow to become a larger local flower producer.
Wow. So tell us before we get too far into this, website, social media.
Right.
So people can be able to find you.
Right. Well, right now, website I have is under construction, and on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, which don't really follow TikTok. It's not that great. I can't figure. I'm older. I can't figure it out. I'm not. But it's just Ladybug Lane Flower Farm, and that's the best way to follow us. When I don't have flowers, I try to educate around the farm. You get to see a lot of my personality. I love to dance, and I'm a horrible singer, so I try to dance, and I'm not a good dancer, but I keep people entertained.
Good. Yeah. That's so fun. So my sister is a floral designer.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, and so people hire her to put together their flowers, and she does events and things of that nature. And so I've been visiting her, and she'd go out and shop for the flowers, and there's
wholesale,
different wholesale. And so now I'm thinking about when I'm walking through there, now I kind of got a different feel for like where these flowers came from, because in my mind they definitely came from somebody down the street who was growing flowers.
Here at most wholesalers, they will carry some, but the majority of it is not. And I think a lot of it is the mindset of, I think you're finding the consumer really wants to start shopping local, but I also think when it comes to, flowers, they get trendy, and you want certain flowers that are not in bloom in Oklahoma at that time. So of course you're ordering them from somewhere else. And
Makes
so
sense.
it's kind of, the florists, I think, would follow if the consumers would change their mindset.
Right. Tell me the type of flowers that you grow.
Like right now, we probably grow 80 different varieties. We will do things such as sunflowers, we'll do zinnias, cosmos, lisianthus. Right now I've got snapdragons, stock. I've got a lot of Dara and Ami. And if they're foreign, they probably are foreign names to you, but I promise if you order a florist bouquet, you'd know most of them.
Okay.
So that's just a handful of them. But we do grow quite a wide variety.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So we're gonna jump into a segment, our first segment.
Please.
And this first segment is top 5. So I'm gonna give you 5 places, destinations to go visit. You got to rank them 1 to 5.
Okay.
Like, this is the one. Now, here's the thing. Once I give it to you, wherever you put it on the top 5, you can't move it.
Okay.
Alaska.
2.
2. Okay. Miami.
5.
Wait, let me go back to what was so intriguing. Like, Alaska was like, you were like, as soon as I said it, was like,
okay, just because I don't love the cold, I love the mountains and the nature and being away from people.
Yeah. Miami.
I'm not very buoyant. I don't do the water.
Okay, yeah, Alaska. I want to go to Alaska. I hear it's beautiful out there.
Yeah.
I'm not a cold person, but I want to go. New York.
3.
Now, New York, but not Miami. Well, you said water and all that, but New York. Why New York?
What? I would love to go to. I would love to go to Times Square. Just all the touristy stuff. I'd love to see the architecture. There's so many great museums there. I'd love to go to Broadway. Dancing.
Yeah. New York's legit.
New York would be fun.
Yeah, no, I get it. I was just curious. Okay, Dubai.
What do I have left? 1 and 4?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe 1, because that's like maybe 1, because that's so far away. That's so out of my comfort zone that. If I had the chance to go there, maybe that would be my like 1 place to go. And it's warm. I like warm.
Yeah. Last one's got to be 4, but it was Japan.
Oh, man. That's pretty good.
That's a pretty
good one.
If you would have known Japan was on this list, where would you have put it?
1.
1. Okay. 1 before Dubai. Okay. Why Japan over Dubai?
They have so many gardens. So many gardens. They've got some mountains I can go to there too.
Yeah, right. So a good combination of 2 things that you would appreciate.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good. All right, so how did you end up in GuthrieAmerica?
I married a smoking hot Guthrie boy.
Oh.
My husband Jake Husmann is from Guthrie, and I guess 6 years ago, we had the opportunity to come out and build our home on his family's homestead, and we took it. Shall I? Okay. I had always worked in technology, and I had a lot of kind of family things going on, and I was having a really hard time. I have ADHD, pretty bad, and I was misdiagnosed. And at that time, I was going through a lot of anxiety and depression with my work and some things going on in my extended family. and I was not in a good place mentally. And even though I was very happy with my husband and we had just gotten married, my mental state was a wreck and I couldn't control myself. I was just, I tried to take my life. And I became a ward of the state. And Jake, he saved me. He got me out. He helped me get out of my job. He got me the help that I needed. And we decided that it was best for me to move to Guthrie. And so since I've been here, I am like a new person. I have, it took a while. The first 2 years were kind of rocky, kind of trying to find my place in the world. But as Jake allowed me to run with this dream of the flower farm, I mean, Jake and this flower farm have saved me. I feel like I have found myself. I have found my health. I have found my God. I mean, I have an amazing job in nature. I'm fully supported by the community and my husband, and I talk to God all day long, and I've never been happier.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, that's how I got to Guthrie.
Yeah, yeah. What has been some things that, man, first let me just acknowledge, like, thank you for sharing
Sure.
about your situation, because there's so many people who are dealing with this type of thing that need help, and
it's scary to talk about. It's really scary to talk about, and it's scary to, I think that there is still a stigma, and especially if you're insecure about it, and because somebody who's suffering these symptoms, they are insecure. And I think on your way to healing, hopefully you're learning more about yourself, and you're learning to love yourself, and it becomes a tool that you can use to help others.
Yeah, yeah. Have you found that you've had opportunity to be able to share this with people to help?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. You know, I was telling you earlier today, I don't lead with this
Right.
in a conversation, but I'm not scared to talk about it. And I also feel like if I see somebody that I think is going through something similar, I gravitate toward them, because the best, talking to somebody has been the biggest healing for me.
Right.
I'm a big believer in therapy, and mentorship. And so if I can be that to somebody, to let them know that they are not alone in feeling this or feeling what they're feeling, even if they're going through something completely different, I want them to, there are people out there that will help and care.
So get the help.
Yeah, get the help.
It's hard sometimes to be willing to say that, right?
It is, because a lot of times, yes, I think a lot of the times we think we can just take a pill and it'll be better. And the thing, I truly think for me, some of the medications kind of clouded my mind. And it's not a pill. It's not a pill. It's a person. And sometimes it's a pastor. Sometimes it's a therapist, a friend, a family member. But that person will help you find you as a person.
Yeah. So true. And personally have dealt within my family with suicide attempt. Actually 2, and so I get it. And to watch somebody go through that, but
it's hard because unless you're experiencing it. The thing with depression and anxiety is there is so much pain, not just mental pain. There's so much physical pain. There's so much physical pain because your body holds on to all of that trauma. And you just want to end the pain, physical and emotional. And it's hard for somebody who's not experienced that. And a lot of times, I hate it when people say that suicide is the most selfish thing you can do. Although I don't disagree with it, until you've been there, you just don't know.
Right.
You've just got to give people grace.
Yeah.
You've got to give them a little grace on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the word grace.
Yes.
Yes. We all need it at times.
Every day, Heady. I need it every day. I'm still a hot mess. I mean, I am.
We all need it. We all need it. Yep. Thanks for sharing that, though.
Of course.
Tech to farming, flower farming.
Yes. Well, I was always an avid gardener. When I grew up in Oklahoma, my mom had these big, beautiful gardens.
Okay.
I mean, vegetables and flowers, and I just remember being out with her all the time. And then when we moved to Colorado, although it was a shorter growing season, she would still just have these beautiful flowers, and it made such an imprint on me that the moment, even when I got rental houses growing up, in my 20s and 30s, I would plant these big immaculate gardens and study it, and that was for a long time, that was my therapy. I took everything I learned from her. And then and so on social media, I started following flower farmers when I was doing all of the technology sales. And I would think, oh, wouldn't that be a dream job? There's no way we could do it in Oklahoma. And the more I researched it, the more flower farmers I found here. And when I had the opportunity, I just ran with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's something that you learned from gardening that you apply to everyday life?
Patience. It takes a long time to grow a flower. It takes a long time, and it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
I myself have not. I didn't have kids. We got married late, and so these are my babies. This is me. When it doesn't look healthy, I've got to nurture it. I've got to give it food. I've got to, if it's sick, I've got to, give it some medicine and just feed it and make sure it grows well. So it turns out to be the best flower possible. So patience, it takes a lot of hard work because I am not typically a patient person.
Yeah.
I want an instant gratification.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I get it. Now there's a business side of this.
Yes.
It's just not about going out, dropping some seeds, doing the 10 hours of work,
right?
As far as caring for the flowers and everything. Then you also got to sell them.
Yes, you do.
And market them and all those things. The thing that I think I'm most interested in is, how do you price flowers?
How do you price flowers? Well, there are of course different types of flowers. Some are more common than others. So the premium ones, of course, get a little bit higher bid.
Premium means there's less of them?
Well, so you're not going to, a sunflower is not going to be as much as a rose.
Okay.
One doesn't bloom as often. You can grow sunflowers quickly.
Gotcha.
You can grow them quickly. They're very cheap to grow. They're very cheap to maintain. Whereas a rose bush and a rose takes a long time of cultivating, growing, and nurturing. Okay. So things of that nature will affect it.
So that's the reason roses cost $1 gazillion whenever you.
Yes, you don't get as many roses as you do sunflowers. Some flowers will put up 30 or 40 flowers during its lifespan, and some will just put up 1 or 2. So that's where cost comes into it. Gotcha. And then the pricing structure is regulated by the USDA. And so wholesale pricing off the Boston market, and then different regions of the country, and then flowers, different seasons. It fluctuates kind of like a commodities futures market.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Man, learning something today. Okay, tulip versus a rose. Which one's harder to grow?
Which one's rose would take more.
Okay.
Tulip, you throw it in the ground. But
I was going to say tulips aren't as expensive, so I would assume that
they're not quite as expensive. They are considered more of a premium flower because you can only grow them one time of the year.
Okay.
See, you can only get one flower off of a tulip bulb, so it does kind of fall into a bit of a premium.
Oh, okay. Okay. What's the most premium flower that you grow?
That I personally grow, it's called Lysianthus. It's kind of a false rose. It's They have amazing stem life. They look like a rose. They don't have the scent, but they look
Okay.
very much like a rose.
Gotcha. Now, was that something that you picked just because you knew that it grew well in Oklahoma? Like, how did you decide on which one you wanted to grow?
Of the premium flowers that I do grow, that one will produce the most flowers. It does the best in our climate, and I could get the most margins off of it.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
What do you enjoy most about the work you get to do?
It's hard because a lot of times my favorite thing is just to see everybody's faces when they get flowers, or when they come to the field and see them, or if somebody hands them a bouquet. Like, that is just priceless to me. That's why I call myself a joy dealer. Flowers are typically a part of everybody's lives.
Yeah.
From birth to death. And all the way in between. So flowers are a part of everybody's life, and everybody has a story, whether it's my grandmother loved this one, or my mother loved this flower, or this reminds me of my wife when we got married. It's a part of everybody's story. And so I love that. But I love the sense of accomplishment from starting a seed and then to the time where I cut it and I can hold armfuls of flowers. Like, that is just such an ego boost for me. Like, you'll see a lot of like selfies of me because I get real cocky about it too. I'll show you my armloads of flowers. So,
when you were a kid, what did you dream of being?
A dancer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to be a dancer, specifically a rockette. But I come from a vertically challenged family, and I hoped I would get there, but you have to be 5'7" to be a rockette.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't. I was lucky to make it to 5'2", which is towering in my family. I probably also lacked a lot of the, skills and grace that a lot of the professional dancers do. But I always wanted to be a dancer.
Gotcha. Do y'all just go out and dance for fun? Like, are you like, as long as I'm just dancing, I'll do it at home or whatever? Or do you go ball
everywhere I go. I dance everywhere I go, all around town. You've probably seen me crossing the streets dancing. I love to do, if you go to my Facebook or Instagram pages, I have made a lot of, I think I did Napoleon Dynamite last week.
Okay.
I just love it. And honestly, the sillier I look, the funnier I think that I am. And I really don't, I don't care. I don't care. As long as people are laughing and enjoy it.
You're good.
Then I'm good.
Good. I love it. Okay. Next one, fill in the blank.
Yes.
If you could teleport anywhere right now, you would go to where?
Summer. Just warmer weather. Longer day. I don't know. I'm such a homebody. I like where I'm at. Yeah. I really do. I'm so happy where I am right now. Like, there's nowhere else I really need to go except summer.
Well, I was gonna say that's somewhere you still get to be at home.
Right.
You're just
exactly.
going to
Exactly.
The one thing you never leave home without is
tunes. I will take music with me everywhere, and that's it.
What's your favorite kind of music?
Who picks a favorite? Who picks a favorite? Well, I love classic rock. I love 90s and early 2000 hip hop. I love jazz. I love country. Anything that you can just, if it tells a story. I love lyrics, but then I want a good beat.
Okay.
Anything.
Gotcha. Your dream dinner guest is?
Probably somebody who can cook better than me. Like,
Anybody want to
this
give
goes
me
back to the feral part.
Okay.
I'm not, poor Jake. I am not domestic. Like I can cook, but I'm not great. Like if I could have a dinner guest, I would con them into helping me cook.
Whoever it is needs to be able to cook.
Yeah,
they gotta cook the dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do the dishes.
Okay.
I'll do the dishes in the tiny house.
The best piece of advice you've ever received is?
Love yourself. I mean, if you ask any person to name their top 5 people, no one's going to put themselves in there.
Oh.
How are you going to love? And I was talking to a friend today about this at lunch. If you can't love yourself and your flaws and get to that point, how are you going to fully love somebody else for theirs? And so it took me a long time to get there, but I finally feel like even when I mess up, I'm to the point where I'm really starting to really love myself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's good.
Thanks.
Again, from a Christian perspective, the Bible says to love your neighbors, you love yourself. And so if you're not loving yourself very well, how are you going to love your neighbor? And so I like that very, very much.
Thank you.
Now, one of the things we do around here is parades. We have Homecoming Parade, 89er Parade.
I was ready for this question.
Veterans Parade. He's like, finally, all these questions he's asked, none of them were on the list.
I know.
I intentionally do that.
This one.
I intentionally do that. What's your favorite parade spot?
We go to the State Capitol Publishing Museum and sit on the stairs so you can see it coming down. You can see it coming and you can see it going. You've got like the best view both ways.
That spot you probably have to get to early because there's probably people there. Like you have to. Or you just say right
Don't come now.
No. You just gave it away.
I know. You just gave it away. Spot.
You know what they should do. I don't know if that museum is open on the parade days. But one of the things the YMCA is doing now, they auction off.
They do auction off. When the State Capitol Publishing Museum has their big benefit, they auction off the second and third story where people can go out on the balcony and watch the parades
wow.
there.
Okay. I was about to say they should do that. I didn't know that. So
they do.
that'd be a good spot. That would be good.
Spot.
YMCA is a good spot too. I guess if you're on the roads along there, you can. But to be upstairs, I'm thinking about nobody's bid on it. I'm thinking about getting it. So then my family and I can be up there. Just if the weather's bad or something like that, or cold. And I just had a grandbaby.
April's tough in the for 89ers. I know you had a grandbaby. Congratulations.
Yeah. So my grandbaby can be up there. She'll be safe. Yes. Nobody will touch her. It'll be perfect. She can be up there with Pappy Heady. Yes, right. Don't bother her right now. What's something you're really into right now?
Something that I'm really into right now. Chicken genetics.
Wow, you making me scratch my head. Chicken genetics. Like, tell me more, please. Tell me more. What is this? Like, are you researching this or playing with chickens? What are you doing?
So I have a rainbow flock.
Okay.
And so
explain the rainbow flock for us who don't have a clue what you're talking about. You're just dropping this stuff as though like I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. So I'm sure somebody's listening doesn't know. Rainbow flock is.
Yeah, a rainbow flock is so a lot of different chicken breeds lay different color eggs. And when you take the dominant characteristics of one and mix it with another. So for instance, if I take my blue laying egg Americana chicken and I mix it with my dark brown laying egg, my black copper Moran, when I cross those, I'll get deep dark blue, almost turquoise eggs.
Oh wow. Is there one in here?
I don't think that there is one there. I just grabbed what was available today.
Okay,
you did sell out pretty fast at my house. But like, say you can take a Welsummer and a Welsummer who lays spotted eggs, and you can take a lighter color brown egg, and you can cross them, and you can get lots of spots, things like that. So I have been heavily investing in my rooster game with the different colored egg-laying roosters and all of my girls who lay different colors. And so I'm now incubating out to see what we get for the summer.
Wow.
I know,
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like something to be into. 'Cause this is fun for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just work or business.
No,
like there's a
but
business piece
yeah.
to it, but
It's like
you enjoy
it's
learning
like a
it.
science experiment every day.
Yeah.
Like it being in school. It's cool. It's interesting. It's fun.
Yeah, you go out there and see what you got. Yeah. Now you said for the summer.
Yes, because once you hatch out the chicks, they usually take 3 to 4 months before they start laying.
Oh.
So starting this summer, all the chicks that I'm hatching out now, we'll just see what we get this summer.
Because that's when you'll know if they're gonna whatever color eggs or whatever
Yeah,
is once they start hatching.
Once they start laying.
I didn't even think about it. You know what she's saying now?
Mm-mm.
Because she's like
right
essentially
now,
the chickens are mating or
they've been mating, and
Yes.
now I have all those eggs in an incubator.
Yeah.
And so when they
so now you're gonna
hatch,
produce.
it'll take them 3 to 4 months before they start laying. And once they start laying, then we'll see the colors.
So it's a process.
It is a process.
Yeah.
Everything's a process.
Everything's
out
a
there.
process. Yes.
Everything's a process
Patience.
out there. Yeah, patience.
Everything's gonna require some patience.
Yes.
That's really cool. Okay, another segment. You ready?
Yes.
This one is either or. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Would you rather have the ability to fly or be invisible?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably fly. I could get places faster.
I'm so thankful you don't say invisible. People who say invisible, I'm really concerned about.
Right? I don't know.
Why do you want to walk around invisible?
I know. You know, I think you'd like hear things that you didn't want to hear.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Fly.
Yes.
Fly.
I'm not the one who walks up on my kid's bedroom to try to hear because I probably don't want to know. Would you rather travel to the past or the future?
Future. I've already been to the past.
Oh.
Or, I've already been through my past.
Yeah.
And, all we do is learn about the past. We don't learn about the future.
Right.
So definitely the future.
Going to the future. Is there anything you'll be looking for specific in the future?
Oh, well, no. I think it's better to surprise.
Okay. I don't know if you want to see if you're going to have 20 acres of flower farming or...
Oh, I've got a plan for that.
Okay.
It'll happen. You
know that future,
That'll
right?
happen. Yes.
Would you rather win the lottery or have a job you love?
Well, I've already got a job I love. So
Oh.
Lotto.
Okay. Well, no, I'm not going to ask that one. Okay. Pizza or burgers? This is the food part.
Pizza.
Oh, really?
I have a stupid gluten allergy, so that really limits me.
Yeah. I've been eating the barbecue chicken pizza thin crust from Domino's. Oh my goodness.
Is it so good?
I guess everybody's eating it right now
Really?
because they're out of chicken.
Oh.
They've been out of chicken for a few days. I'm
It
like,
could be bird flu.
oh.
All the chicken and eggs being...
Wow, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not everybody starting to catch on.
Well, are you telling people about it?
I am not. I just did though.
Yeah, you just did. You just did. Bye-bye chicken pizza.
Barbecue chicken pizza is now out there to the people who listen to the Guthrie America podcast.
Right?
Spicy or mild?
Oh, spicy. Hot.
No.
What?
Really?
Oh, my husband says I'm a maniac when it comes to that.
Really? That's how my daughter
I
does.
put hot sauce on everything. The hotter, the better. Hot.
But then you lose the taste, don't you? That's what I always like when I get something hot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, if it's hot, then I'm just focused on the heat, trying to cool off. And I
don't think so.
Okay.
I think some of us are just made a little different, when it comes to that, because I feel like I still taste everything, but I just really like that. That heat just gives it like a little extra. That's like my salt.
That heat. She said that heat. She likes that heat. Okay. Activities and hobbies is this next one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Either or. Reading or writing?
Writing.
I think I know the answer. Hiking or biking?
Hiking.
You probably never. I'm assuming. Now this is me assuming. Video games or board games?
I don't really like either.
Okay, I was about to say, oh, you like video games like that? I thought you was like
No.
you were struggling. You was like neither
No,
one of those.
I don't really like either. I have it's just because I can't pay attention long enough to either of them.
Okay.
Like I can't. I lose interest. I'll see something out the window or think of something or I can't.
Now these next two, this is one of the reasons I love doing this podcast, that you get to know people. I now can answer some of these now. Singing or dancing?
Oh, dancing.
Yeah.
Dancing. I mean, I try to sing, but nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody
but
the dancing you got down. Yeah. Now, did you say when did you start dancing? When did you start dancing?
Oh God. Oh, I started when I was 3. I started here in Oklahoma at a studio in Edmond, and then I danced all through high school and even tried some in college. But I knew when to throw in the towel. I mean,
yeah.
I wasn't
you
that
didn't get
good.
the hype.
I wasn't that good. I just enjoyed it.
That's good.
So,
That's good. This next one, I think I know too. Gardening or cooking?
Oh, gardening. Gardening. It's amazing I'm still alive. Like I don't cooking. No.
I feel like I know this next one too. Traveling or staying at home?
Oh, home.
Yeah.
I'm a homebody.
I could have guessed both of those just within the few minutes we've been together. It's pretty
Right.
cool. Okay, we'll do this next segment, then we'll come back to the other ones. But big parties or small gatherings? I think I know this one too from the front door.
Small gatherings.
Yes.
I think in big parties or any space where there's a lot of people, I get overstimulated, and so I tend to get back towards the wall and just observe. But put me with a few people, you can't shut me up.
Yeah, you the life of the party.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's too many people? Like, do you know your number?
I think it depends on if I know them or not.
Okay.
You know, like I think like 10 starts to kind of push it, where I get kind of overwhelmed, and then I just kind of gravitate towards somebody and stay there.
Got you.
Because I just get a little overstimulated.
Yeah, and so even if you knew the 100 people a bunch, you still would get overstimulated. So it's
a little bit.
Yeah,
I probably get
but you'll
quiet
be less.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Sunrise or sunset?
I don't think that I could choose. And I think if anybody who follows my social media, like my favorite thing in the world is to take pictures of sunrises and sunsets.
Sunsets, yeah.
Yes, and we've just got such a beautiful spot for them. The thing is, I'm just outside. I'm outside in nature and watching it every day. It's amazing. Like that is peak happy time. That is God's glory right there. Sunrises and sunsets.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Rain or sunshine?
Definitely sunshine.
Okay.
But I love a good rainstorm. But
you probably want a good rainstorm.
Well, I
not
do,
rainstorm,
but also
but
I feel like my mood is so tied to the sun. Like winter is hard for me when it's kind of dark and gray and cold. So I'm definitely a sunshine girl.
Got you. Now I'm listening to you say these things, so I'm curious to hear this next one. Talking or listening?
I probably talk more than I listen, and that is something that I'll be working on probably for the rest of my life. But I'm a talker.
Because if it's a bunch of people, you're kind of forced to sit back and kind of just listen and observe.
Yes, if there are a bunch of people, I'll sit back and listen. But if it's
just us, I'm
gonna talk.
Yeah. I like people who talk, then I'll just be quiet. I don't have to say much. Gift giving or gift receiving?
Giving.
Okay, you'll like gift.
Yeah.
Like, are you one of those people who like to try to find unique gifts for people, or do you want to know the thing that they like and try to surprise them with that?
I will do my best to be unique. I will do my best to be unique. And sometimes I think it just depends on the person, because some people, like my father, will always be the hardest man in the world to shop for. But there are some people that are just hard. But I do like to try to give different and unique gifts.
Gotcha. Learning new things or mastering old skills?
Learning new things. I think that keeps you young and sharp.
Yeah. Being practical or being creative?
Creative.
Yeah, the genetic eggs and stuff, like
Mhm.
trying to do that, flowers and yeah, all that stuff would require some creativity, I would think. Yeah, that's good. Okay. What's something you're most grateful for?
A second chance at life.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Uh, being in Guthrie, America, what has been the thing that you've been most proud of that you've done, or that you're a part of, or
So when I started the flower farm, based on my background, I didn't know anybody here. How was I going to find customers? What was I going to do? How was I going to make this work? And so one thing I did know from my past is chamber world. So I immediately marched to the chamber and joined it before I even had a seed in the ground. And I started going to chamber meetings and meeting people in the community, because I thought, if I don't have friends here, at least I'll meet people in business. And, I came from the business world, and they'd be like-minded, and that way I would get to know people. And so, I jumped into the Guthrie Chamber, like head first, and was attending everything that I utilized everything that they could do for me and give me. And I was at every opportunity that every opportunity that I could. And I felt like that immediately started to grow my business. And with that, my friendships came around the community. And now I've become even more and more involved in the Guthrie Chamber, and I sit on the board, and this year I'm the board chair, and I help head up the ambassador program. And so I really feel like the thing that has really been the most impactful thing to me is the chamber, and then getting to know the business community. And that led me to all the amazing people in Guthrie.
Yeah.
And so that has been the most impactful thing to me.
yeah,
So.
that's good. That's good. Okay, here's another segment. This is called Pass or Answer.
Oh.
You can say pass or you can answer it.
Okay.
Okay. What's your go-to social media platform?
Instagram.
Instagram, not Facebook.
Mm-mm.
Why Instagram?
I think it is more visual oriented on the pictures, and I think that people say things on Facebook that shouldn't be said, and I think it can bring you down. So
Gotcha.
I want to see the pretty pictures. I want to see the pictures of your
Yeah.
family. I want to see the pictures of everything. So I am, although I do both, I just want to see the happy. I don't want to read the nonsense.
Yeah. Do you use the business suite for Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, because then that's what I use. Then I don't have to get on social
Yeah.
media. I use that. That's what I use.
Mm-hmm.
I get on there periodically,
Uh-huh.
but most of the time I just use the business. Like, I don't have it on my phone or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a book you most suggest to others? Pass or answer. You can pass or you can answer.
That I most suggest to others. Well, this is kind of a tricky one, because I feel like I make book recommendations all the time, and I feel like they're always gardening and flower books.
Okay.
So,
is there a particular one in the gardening or flower?
Yeah, Lisa Mason Ziegler's flower farming books. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Is that a how-to kind of book, or is
It's
that
a how-to, what grows best in your zone, what to look for. They're almost like little mini encyclopedias of how to flower farm or just grow flowers in your area. So
Gotcha.
I talk with my hands. I keep hitting it. Sorry.
No, you're. All right, pass or answer. How do you find inspiration in the work you do, or in general?
I think I find inspiration in other flower farmers, having relationships with them and the things that they do, but also it's really it's my customers, and I get inspired to do better and grow more and offer more because of the way that people react to the flowers. And so I think my customers and my customers and my colleagues.
Yeah. Last person that made you laugh or smile outside of doing this podcast?
Jessica Rash today.
Jessica,
Yeah.
Jessica Rash made you laugh or both?
Well, I think I made her laugh, and then because I did something stupid, and then we just both laughed and laughed and laughed. In fact, we were sitting in the parking. I was sitting in the parking lot, still laughing about it. So, yeah,
that's good. One thing on your bucket list.
Bucket list. Oh, I don't know if it's something to do. It's mainly I want too many donkeys named Chips and Salsa. Like, that is my bucket list. I want them so bad, Mr. Husmann.
So
Chips and Salsa.
Chips and Salsa. So you want 2 donkeys and you want to name them Chips and Salsa.
Yeah, how cute is that?
That is so cute.
I can tell you're really into
it. What's one hidden talent you possess?
I am I don't know, I want to say part-time. I am an amateur contemporary abstract artist. I during the winter season, I paint, and I have about 50 pieces at a restaurant in Oklahoma City called Piatto Italian Kitchen, and they're for sale there. And then I also take orders from all over the United States and do commission pieces.
Wow. Okay. Where is that on social?
Yeah, I do have an Instagram and Facebook of that. I'm not great about keeping up with that one as much, but it is called Jennifer Wharton Husmann Art.
Wow. Okay. Nice. If you could be any animal, what would it be?
That is a really good. So I'd want to be like a hard worker, but I'd also want to be like sassy, and cats aren't. I don't know. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
You can pass, but
I might have to pass on that one. There's so many options.
Well, I was sure it's gonna be a ladybug.
You know,
I guess that's an insect.
I guess I would have thought insect on that one, but yeah, I could definitely be a ladybug.
Yeah,
they're like little warriors. Yeah. They're so good.
Yeah, you like to have them, don't you?
Oh yeah, I buy them. Yeah, I buy them. Buy them from my farm.
Yeah.
I call them my army because they go and eat all the bad bugs.
Yeah, which is crazy. I know. I can't remember when I learned that. Maybe, but I was like, really, ladybugs for the farm to go buy them? Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
What's the weirdest food you've ever eaten?
The weirdest food I've ever eaten? I don't know. I think when you get into any of like the, you know, like I'm not a huge fan of gizzards kind of thing, or liver, or like when you get into like if it's in like I'm not a fan of guts. Like that's weird. I've tried them, but I'm not a fan.
Oh man, Mom, you eat gizzards, don't you? I'll eat fried gizzards.
Every now and then.
Yeah, I'll eat some gizzards.
Yeah.
Something I do.
If you could write your younger self, if you could write a note to your younger self, what would you say?
Oh man. Gosh, that's so hard. Do people know this one right off the bat? Like, can people like answer that? Like, I go back and I look back, and there's so many trials and tribulations that I'm like, I want to tell you this on the yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Hang in there. It gets better. It gets better.
That's a good one. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Do people? I would say there's some people who
can like spot on. Yeah. Hang in there. It gets better. I promise.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's a good one, though. Okay. Can you share some of the best ways? And I feel like you kind of already done this, but best ways to give back to Guthrie, give back to your community.
I think that always, promote your fellow businesses, promote the good things that are going on in your town.
Yeah.
I mean, Guthrie has so much to be proud of. I don't have kids in school, but I will 100% promote and help all the kids and with whether it's the 4-H or not 4-H. What is the
FFA?
agriculture at school?
FFA?
Is it FFA? Whether it's the sports teams, support the businesses. Try to keep things local. There are so many ways to get involved in the community. On every other month, I volunteer with the Logan County Sooner Success, and I help them run their respite program. And I do counseling for some of the kids that some of the siblings. It's called Sibshops, and so there are so many children and programs that need people. They need bodies, and they need local support, and they're not always getting it. There's so many volunteer opportunities to get involved in the community to really boost it up. Be present and promote everything.
Yeah.
All the people. Promote everything good.
Yeah.
Spread joy. Spread joy everywhere. So.
That's good. All right. So last question.
Yes.
Got the sign behind you says Choose Guthrie. You see Choose Guthrie signs throughout town. What does Choose Guthrie mean to you?
Choose Guthrie to me is, making the commitment to support your community. We're so close to Edmond. We're so close to Oklahoma City, and you're really close to your Amazon on your phone. You have so much that you can be doing in your community to make it great.
Yeah.
Utilize that. Make a conscious effort to be present where you are. It makes the community better. It makes it healthier. It makes it stronger, and it makes it safer. Just make this the kind of town that you'd be proud to call home.
Yeah. Thank you, Jennifer, so much for this.
Welcome. This was fun.
Yeah. You got any last shout outs you want to give or any final thoughts?
Thanks to the Chamber. Thanks to all of the organizations that I have been a part of that I have since I've been to Guthrie. Thank you to you for inviting me to tell my story. And thank you to all my customers who make Ladybug Lane great, and to Jake Husmann, who brought me to Guthrie.
Come on, Jake. Way to go. Do you want to tell the story how you all met? No?
It was at a bar. When I was a bartender in Oklahoma City in the Paseo district. When I lived in the city, I loved to bartend. It was quick cash, and I would pay for my car in cash. I paid for my first house with the down payment all in cash from bartending. So I loved it, and it was a good social interaction for me. So I was a bartender, and he and his friends would come watch Monday Night Football, and we became friends over a year, and then we went on a date, and the rest was history.
Oh, so cool. Jake, thanks for bringing Jennifer together. She's making a difference, my man. Wait. Yeah, I was trying to think, 98. I'm trying to think who I would know in 98 that graduated with. So anyway, yeah. Awesome sauce. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hitting that play button for another episode of the GuthrieAmerica podcast. The question I always like to ask is, will your story be next? Go in.